Huzzah! All right. Well. Oh Lord.
Ooh, feedback.
Who did that?
Feedback.
Who did that? Mute your damn phones. Okay. So, welcome back to another episode of, like, what was it that we used to say all the time? That crazy.
What the fuck is this?
What the fuck? Whatever
Whatever the fuck this is.
Whatever the fuck this is.
Yeah, whatever the fuck this is.
That was some good old days. Back in my day when we first were young and whippersnappered. Or whatever. Okay. So, last we left off. All y'all people had been traveling north on the Reclaimer, headed towards Silver Moon, having just left the city of Everesca under some rather intense circumstances. You found yourself then detoured as you were traveling by the arrival of one Afriel, the spawn of two deities, and had been alerted to the fact that you guys may or may not have left someone important behind under dire circumstances. Already, Iskra and Aelin had hijacked one of the minnows to try and go back and rectify that situation. While doing so, then Galil and Kindred quickly acted and got the ship to land and try and turn around as best as possible, since they had not been traveling for too long, and had done what they could to try and find this missing person who had turned out to be one of the 12 that was part of the prophecy. That having been done, Galil running a nice little marathon through the foggy forest and still managing to find his way because he is just so darn clever. You guys had made it just in time as the airship took off once again and started navigating in that direction, trying to look for a pool of water amongst the trees where this Salvador had been not laid to rest, but where he had come to rest.
Left to die.
Where he had come to rest after he was trying to escape from his pursuers. At the last moment, Galil had arrived just in time to see that the small minnow with Iskra and Aelin had arrived as well, finding Salvador unconscious, and had started to try and fix him up as best as possible and get him back on the minnow to get back to the ship, knowing that his pursuers were still close by and that they were going to be probably causing a problem. And lo and behold, one of them arrived. So the gentleman that you had seen the day before in the city, or actually no, earlier that day. I thought it was 2 weeks will do, but it was earlier that day that you had seen him in Everesca, the strangely somewhat demonic seeming entity that was this Orkravath. Now with his full wings, like bat-like wings, having landed him there at the edge of the pool. Brief skirmish with Galil and Iskra, landing a final jaw-shattering blow that had wound up sending him temporarily or permanently to back wherever he may have come from. So that being done, you guys had then loaded up on the minnow, managed to find the Reclaimer, got back on the Reclaimer, and had unloaded Salvador into the ship. So,
Noise.
That is where last where we left off.
Mhm.
Ah! And now we have an Iskra joining us.
Yay!
Woo!
Yay!
She lives! She lives! I love it.
And she's indoors.
And she's indoors.
So this empty space that you see around me is my new apartment.
Nice.
So
Yay.
She's
I had to rush because we're in the middle of our training exercise, so I came from a meeting. So
You're fine.
I
You're fine.
tried to switch at least part of my clothes, so I'm
You're
not
good.
totally armied out.
You're good.
And I'm coming to you from on top of like a big rucksack and a suitcase.
It's
So
perfect though.
hopefully we'll
Us-
be a little better established next time.
No,
It
no,
works.
you're fine.
It works.
The austere life is the best life, or you're living your
Yeah.
best monk life, or whatever. One of those things. You are literally now Iskra with just like the pack and a little bedroll and stuff, and so you know.
Yeah, I just need a musical instrument in here. It'd be
Aw.
perfect.
Yes.
Digital daily.
Perfect,
Yes.
perfect. Well, we just finished recounting the last of the events leading up to where we left off last, and
Okay, my memory's pretty solid, so.
Okay. So then, with Salvador being led to one of the spare rooms, and everybody kind of gathered together. Kindred had gone off to his room. Believe Galil had left as well. Everyone's kind of gathering themselves, I guess. You know, preparing to move north. I don't know. One of those things. So Sol had, directed a little bit of disappointment in everybody having left him just on the ship and kind of splitting apart, but that being as it were. You are now on the ship and it's back on course heading north. So what would you guys like to do or be doing?
Hello, where were you heading?
Do you know where you're heading?
No,
Yeah.
to Galil. Were you heading to your room or what were you doing?
Yeah, I'm heading to my room.
Does his room pass mine?
It's just all in the same little hallway, so it's just kind of there's like a bunch of little cabin doors in the
I'll
center.
wait to hear footsteps and then I'll peek and see if it's Galil.
Okay. And then Adam, you go to your room.
I'm gonna go find Iskra.
Hey, did you fight the guy?
Yeah.
Did you stab him?
I'm so tired.
But did you stab him?
Yeah.
Can I
Why?
see? As I hold out a piece of cloth, I'm like, can I see your blade?
Yeah, just follow me to my room.
Do so.
I open my door, get in, start stripping down everything. Here's the weapons.
I just unsheath his rapier and just. Is it dried or does it come off pretty easily?
There's only a little bit of stuff still on it. It looks like maybe had gotten smashed into the scabbard a little bit, but you could find a little bit of residue. It seems like there's just this black. It's almost like smear. It doesn't even look like really blood. It just looks like black, almost like tar that has been streaked along the edges of the blade.
Are you sure this was blood or did you just fall in the mud?
I stabbed the shit out of him. If you want more, go ask Iskra. She may have got some on her daggers too.
No, all I need is a little bit. This will work. I'm gonna sheath it. Back to my room.
You just see Finn face down in his bowl, passing the fuck out.
Okay. All right, and then Alec, when you said you were going to go to meet Iskra.
I'm standing up on the deck still.
Oh, I'm gonna search around until I actually make my way upstairs to the deck, and I see her up there. I kind of angrily walk up towards her and like make eye contact. Like, what were you thinking?
I see you have some questions.
Well, yes, I do. Do you remember we're in this together?
I know. Aelin felt very strongly that this was something that he needed to do, and he was uncomfortable telling anyone but me. When I suggested telling the rest of the group, he got really uneasy about it. I felt like he was going to go no matter what, so I might as well.
I'm very, very disappointed in you. I mean, there could have been so many other ways that you could have like let us know. A note. I don't know. Like, you have spells too. You could have done something. You know where my room is. You could have just like, wrote something in my book or something. I don't know.
You know, it was in the moment. I made the choice that I felt like I had to make, and I think that ultimately it worked out, right? So
Yeah. Just remember, I can't do this without you. Okay?
I understand, and without you, I'm trapped here, so I get it. We're in it together. If it was something I felt like I wouldn't come back from, I wouldn't have gone.
In the middle of this, her talking, I give her a hug.
I
Don't-
hug back.
Don't do that again. I lost my mom. I feel like I lost my dad, and now I don't want to lose you. So please, let's just stay together through this.
You're part of my family too. I'll make sure that we make it through this together.
Do an awkward pat on the back, and I just kind of like just walk away from you angrily back downstairs.
All right.
I glance down at my little tattoo again,
You can
wondering
see
if I made the right call.
when you glance down at the tattoo, you see that it seems like there are corners of it that are like fading from glowing, like as if the black ink itself. There are parts of the edges of that last little bit that are returning to turning black.
I just lean on the side
rail.
of the ship and look off into the sky.
Into the foggy sky that you guys are kind of sailing through as you're headed north. Okay. Anybody else? Anything else that you guys wanted to do as you guys are traveling?
I'm taking a short rest.
Okay. Passing out on the bed.
I would like to do the same, just sitting in my room writing things down, going over notes and reviewing stuff.
Sure.
I'm gonna go find Soul.
Okay.
Before I go take my little rest.
Of course.
I'm going to sing Soul.
You're what?
You're gonna sing two soul?
I'm going to sing Soul
You're gonna sing Soul?
in my room.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, what does that mean?
Yeah, I'm confused. What does that mean?
It's a genre of music.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh! I was like, had all of the equations going. I was like, what is happening? Sing S-O-U-L. God, I love English. It's so great, and you understand it almost all the time.
What spell is that?
I know. I was like, he's going to sing soul.
You can do that?
I didn't know that there was a. I was like trying to think of a title of a song that was named Soul. All right. So while Sandra is crooning away some soul music in his
Draconic Soul.
Draconic.
Oh, Bahamut Soul.
Oh God.
God, that sounds. I feel like that would be such a. I know it's like death metal, but not.
No.
With a death metal with a twang. I don't know.
It's very peaceful
And
music.
and a nice little jazz.
Do you make your own, like, what's it called, like a fog machine, but like smoke coming out of?
It's
Or shape water. Fall.
Party in Saunders' room. Let's go.
Definitely. Definitely.
Bring the lights.
Oh no. Well,
Okay.
Aaron's heard a Draconic Soul song that I wrote, so he knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. All right. So, Alec, when you said you're going to go over to Soul's room,
Yes.
got it.
So Soul is his door is open and he's laying in his bed, and you can see his huge like bare feet just kind of hanging off far off the bed because it's a small bed.
Ooh.
Okay. I just kind of like knock as I kind of like peek in. Hey, Soul?
Yeah. Yes, Quinn. How are you?
Pretty good.
Please
I
come
actually-
in.
Okay. I kind of like awkwardly walk in. It's come to my attention that when we get there, there might be a little bit of fighting involved. I'm curious to see if have you ever actually had confrontation, a fight, fist fight, throwing rocks, anything at all?
I have a sling that can throw rocks. Yeah.
Okay. Well, no. What I was saying was, like, when we get to, I guess wherever we're going, we're all going to be kind of fighting here and there, and I was trying to see like what you could do, I guess.
Oh, okay. I understand you. You question my abilities in combat. Which is fine, which is fair. I am practiced in the druid arts, but my abilities are my magic is more, I think, helpful to the team, not helpful to the enemy. And then I am big guy, but I can sneak and hurt behind or attack.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain, but I can fight, and I
Okay.
will protect you all if I can.
Alrighty. Well, if you ever needed to practice or spar, I'm here. If you wanted to practice before we get there.
You mean like how Sonder and Iskra did?
Kind of, not really. I'm not gonna do any of that, but I can maybe make a little people for you to fight, possibly. That won't hurt you back, I guess.
Oh, okay. Well, these are not animals or nature, are they?
Oh no.
Okay. Then that might be fun. That might be good for me to get some practice. I have not fought a lot
Yeah.
in these past few weeks.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I just feel that when we get there, you need to at least have stretched out a little bit. When we touch down to wherever we're going, if we have to throw fireballs or lightning strikes, you'll be there. And I don't want to seem mean at all, but in a turn-by-turn basis, I can't help you, and you can't really help us. So you're going to be there doing your thing, and we're going to be doing our thing, I guess. But I don't want you to get hurt out there either.
You are kind to say that. Thank you. I don't want to see any of my friends get hurt either. So why don't we do this now? Would you like to do this spar?
Sure. Yes. Okay. I kind of like grab my little book as like kind of like turn back to go back upstairs, and I mean it probably best to go upstairs. I don't want to like. What time is it? First off, is it like getting late or anything?
It's probably it's just past noon. You still have
Just
some
past
time to
noon.
travel. I will say that there is not a lot of room for sparring on the ship, so not for monks aside, because they are monks in close quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Like just throwing it out there. There's not
Okay.
like it's not like you have a it's not like a full mass ship that has like the big open deck or anything like that, where you can kind of move around. So if you want to do it now, you're most certainly welcome to try. I would probably suggest waiting until you get down on firm ground
Oh,
before. I mean, you can, like I said, you can do what you want. If you want to do that, I'm all for it. Just give me a heads up.
The DM is your conscience right now.
right now.
I mean, I'm not trying to like. If this is what you want to do, I'm all for it. Like I said, I have the maps for the boat, so it's not like I can't do that instantly. But
I'm just thinking of like when your spells miss and hit the ship.
It's just fireball. I mean, how much damage can that do?
yeah, for sure.
It'll be fine.
We've
I
already
can
been
just-
in one plane wreck. Let's not be in another.
I know, right? I can just summon the air elemental, right, to do my fighting while, you know.
Oh my
Hmm.
god. Well,
I turned
was
to
a-
soul
it was-
on
it was a great run, guys. This was fun. I'm so glad that we ended with a bang.
I start casting tiny hut.
Well, okay, so how big is the little area out there?
How big?
Yeah, like on the deck area.
I remembered it being like 25 or 30 feet. Wide.
There is the very front of the ship has about 15 to 20 feet of an open space.
Oh.
That's the widest. There's a couple of like the side passages that are probably like 10 feet. Have like a 10-foot gap between things, but like the edges of the boat is just like a 5-foot gap along the edges. This is a small, quick craft.
Okay. Well, how about this? Okay, so with all of that considered, yes, I guess we can go ahead and do this now. As I'm just thumbing through my book and I'm finding like a certain good pages, we actually make it up to the flight deck, and I kind of like, okay, so do you want to work on your aim or anything? Do you want to work on like probably like a sneak attack or something? Like how do you fight? You said you were mostly aid, but I guess what type of attacks could you do if we could actually get down to the in a situation?
I can attack in the moment. So what the battle calls for, I can do that.
Okay.
And you can see his face just looks kind of confused and just kind of like, oh.
Okay. Well, I just want you to be in practice if something actually were to, happen. So I kind of like look out to the little area that we're all in right now. And I'm going to hold my hands out, and I'm going to create 3 zombies just in front. And then, like, mentally, I'm just going to ask them just to stay completely still. I'm going to cast the Dance Macrae.
Dance macabre.
Oh, you can make dead people?
I'm still learning, yes.
That is scary, Aliquin.
It's just warlock stuff.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna turn around and lean up against
Oh,
the
you're still outside.
Yeah.
can
Okay.
watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as I'm standing there, as we're talking,
Are you are you up in here in the front area, or are you more towards like the back?
I'm actually going to go all the way to the very, very front. I'm pointing to it, like you can see. I'm going to the very, very front of the ship, and I'm going to be facing him this way. Yes. And I'm going to cast, 3?
Okay, what are the components of this spell?
I think you actually need the bodies because you
I
create
think you-
like puppet strings towards them, and then you control them.
It doesn't say anything on there at all. It's casting actions, 1 action, concentration up
At
to 1 hour.
the bottom
Read
of
the spell.
at the bottom of the spell, the very bottom.
Because it's like reanimating the dead.
Threads of a dark power leap from your fingers to pierce up to 5 small.
Oh.
Let's see.
Should have read it all the way.
It's okay. It's okay. Um,
Dark powers leap from your fingers to pierce up to 5 small or medium corpses you can see within range. Use
Yeah.
corpse X immediately stands out. Blah blah.
yeah. So you'll need some corpses.
I will go to Galil's room. No. All right. Damn. Okay. Well.
Is there something else you would like to try instead?
Nothing that won't destroy the ship. No.
Okay.
All right. Well, as I'm fumbling through my book, I'm looking at this page. No, that's not a good idea. I look at this page. Ooh, no. I look at this page. Kind of like gently nod my head, then like turn the page over. I look at Soul. I'm like, we should be touching down here in a little bit.
I turn back around.
And she's like, well, that was fun.
Aw.
Are you saying that we will do the fight on Earth?
Actually, yes. We could do that because everything. What I was going to do was help you with stealth, attack, reaction, and all that cool stuff. But here on this ship, as I kind of like look around, this may not be a good idea here right now.
While we are in the sky, I agree.
Okay. And I kind of like mutter to myself, I need to find bodies. Then I look back at Soul. Okay.
Did I hear that?
No.
He's just muttering to himself. I mean, make a perception check.
Oh my god. That's a 20 on the die, yo.
Nice. Yeah.
Your ears, while like poking around, you just like instantly, like for whatever reason, just
Perk up.
and at the mention of, I just need to find dead bodies.
I grab Aliquin, I pull him in, I give him a hug, and I'm like, no, don't.
Of
No.
water. Wait, what?
Of-
What? No.
You said corpses, no, bad. No, we don't need to find the bodies.
No, I mean, no. Okay.
That's scary, Aliquin.
I gently pet his fur.
Okay.
Okay.
Good boy.
Okay.
Who's a
Okay.
good boy?
Okay. Well, do you want to go back downstairs and hang out with the others until I guess we get there?
Okay, yes, I would like that. I glance over at Iskra, and then I shake my head and walk away downstairs.
Oh.
All right. Going downstairs and relaxing for the rest of the day, unless there's anything in particular you guys are wanting to do.
My 4 clippings I got. Which ones are they?
They were the ones you needed for the health potion.
Okay, so
Or-
silver thornberries.
Yes, I couldn't remember the name of them. Oh my gosh, Sandra, you're scaring me.
I think it's kind of a good thing that the fight was delayed because I need to refresh myself on my character sheet. I haven't done any battles yet in this campaign.
Probably for the best. So you just get on that. So you do have a little bit of those silver thornberries. Go ahead.
I will spend the rest of my time trying to create poultices out of the 4.
Okay. Cool. All right, Galil, you're going to be resting until further notice. I'm assuming. Iskra, what are you? You're going to just be chilling until till
I'm
evening
gonna
comes.
head down to my room and try
Okay.
to rest. Do a little meditation. Center myself.
As you are passing some of the main rooms, one of the doors opens, and Afriel comes out in the hallway and closes the door behind him. Looks over at you as you were had just passed the door, and nods and thank you for your assistance earlier, by the way.
Happy to help. I'm glad it worked out in the end.
I know that Aelin needs suitable, not quite tutors, but he needs still guidance. He's still young. And I asked him to reach out to whoever he trusted the most. And I'm grateful that you were there nearby whenever he needed that.
I don't know if I'm necessarily the right person to be a mentor, but I did what I could.
To be fair, have you seen the people that I surround myself with? They all served as my mentors at one time or another. I wouldn't say all of them are necessarily the best choices as mentors either, but they all offered various lessons that I needed at the time. Different perspectives can bring positive influences.
True enough. So are you with us for the rest of the ride then?
He looks back over at the closed door of the room. That's difficult to say. I wasn't exactly planning on coming here myself. It just kind of happened. So, possibly, I do need to get back. Though, and you still have much to do in the meantime. For now, I will be here. I don't feel like I have the energy I need to make such a journey again so quickly.
What about the Weaver? How's he doing?
He will recover. It's not been easy for his transition to... we're not quite celestial, but to what we are. He had no idea that such a change was coming to him. And for it to have been in such a violent time, I'm sure he has many questions and that will come in time. For now, he is resting and he is well. And he has you and Aeland and the others to thank for that.
Well, he's lucky to have you around.
We will see if he says that. If he continues to say that. There's a lot of things that will be asked of him and all the others that we are searching for. I'm glad you found your way here, even if it was not so directly.
Well, I'm here for the long term, probably.
And I'm grateful for it. Get some rest. And he
Same.
walks out of the room and heads back up to the upper decks.
I continue to my room.
To your room. Kindred, you're gonna say something? Or are you just raising your hand?
I was just gonna let you know, I rolled for the poultice crafting. 2 successful. The other 2 failed.
Okay. Considering the situation that you find yourself in this not your normal laboratory kind of area, you are content with what you were able to get, even though you know you probably could have done better in better circumstances, but this will probably come in handy at some point.
But after that, depending on how much time has passed, I'd go check on Salvador.
Okay. We'll say over the next couple of hours, once you're finished with your project and you managed to peek into the door, that you know that he had been put into one of the spare rooms. He's currently asleep in the bed.
And how do his wounds look?
Make a medicine check.
Okay. Ooh, dirty 20.
For the most part, most of his burns seem to have healed somewhat. He still has some pretty bad scars, and those are still bandaged. Some of them are still bandaged, though, where it seems like the most damage was done. But the rest of it just looks like the scar tissue's slowly healing. It'll probably take some time, but he, survived what most people would not.
I don't have it. Damn. Okay. I'll just kind of... Is he, in there by himself?
At the moment,
just
yes.
Resting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll spend, because if a couple hours pass, we're looking into, early evening?
Early afternoon, evening, yeah. You're going to be flying until close to dusk.
Okay. I'll just kind of sit in there and just kind of, write notes and go review things in my journal and just kind of sit tight in case he wakes up or something.
Sure. All right. So for the rest of the evening, unless anybody else has any other sort of activities they wanted to partake in,
I'm just washing my clothes and robe and cleaning my armor. That is it.
Fair enough.
I'm going to do a bunch of push-ups until I level up.
Sure.
Because I'm a cautious adventurer.
Cautious adventure. Oh,
Cautious hero.
Gotcha. Right.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing. Yeah. Overcautious, by the way.
Oh, Lord. All right, so evening starts to fall. You can see that the light coming through the individual windows in your room or wherever you might be is starting to turn that nice dusky orange. And you can feel the ship where it had about partway through the afternoon had started to lift up a little higher. You are no longer riding within the mists of the valley anymore. Although there still are remnants of that fog low to the ground, it is nowhere near as thick as it had been before. In fact, you can see as you were traveling that the forest that you guys had been passing through or passing over occasionally gave way to these large stretches of what looked like swampland. Occasionally through the mist you could see the reflection of the sky above as you were passing overhead. The occasional tangled and broken trees that kind of stick out from these kind of swamps. You guys eventually we're heading north enough to where you reach a stretch called the Gray Peak Mountains. And it is there that it seems like you guys are trying to find somewhere to land, as the boggy area that seems to surround these mountainsides don't look like they would be firm enough or a good spot to land the reclaimer. All right, so coming into a landing, you hear Elena's voice come through the metal pipes, kind of startling everyone who'd been kind of drifting off in your own space. You now hear her coming through with her voice.
All right, thank you so much for traveling with us. We're now approaching a landing spot here within the Gray Peak Mountains. Hopefully don't run into any sort of trouble along the way like we did this last time. And as long as there's nobody else who's going to be telling me otherwise, we're going to be putting down for the night, if that's all right with you.
She waits for a moment to see if there's any reply. And
Are there like metal pipes in the rooms, or is it
Mhm.
just like out in the main?
no,
Reply-
they're like little pipes that kind of feed into each of the rooms.
So we can use those to respond back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't say anything. I was just wondering, just
Yeah.
making sure.
Understood.
Thank you, Sonder, for that lovely confirmation. We're going to be putting down now.
And she, like, you can feel the ship kind of rock a little as it kind of starts to descend.
I just kind of want to like steady Zaldafar so he's not like moving in case
Yeah.
he like.
No, he sinks enough. These beds are kind of like the super soft
Memory
to where.
foam?
Sure, yeah, kind of like with memory foam. They're super soft enough to where when you lay in them, you kind of sink in enough to where you don't roll out in case of anything.
But still, I'm just gonna
Yeah,
make sure
kinda
he
make
stays
sure
steady
he
in
stays
case
steady.
we like a drop.
Is anybody out on the deck, or everybody kind of just in their rooms?
I'm gonna get out on the deck.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check for me as you are out
Okay.
there.
Boop, boop, boop. Perception. That is a 16.
16?
Mhm.
All right. As you are looking out over the edges, you see that the ship has now come over this somewhat steep side of these Great Peak Mountains. And the area that she seemed to be putting you down towards, you can see what looks like some sort of ruins of a maybe either a fort or some sort of fortification or small, like, it doesn't quite look like a castle, but it looks like it had once been like
Yeah.
kind of walled sort of area, and she's bringing the ship down to land inside of that to kind of hide from sight.
Okay.
There's this forest that kind of hugs the edges of this mountain. You can see to the east, there is still reflecting the sunlight off of what looks like a bog or some sort of marsh, and there's still fog that kind of creeps along the ground there. But like I said, it's not nearly as thick as you'd seen before. And there's still some forest that kind of goes up along the sides of these mountains, but it seems like this area particularly is really craggy and with large boulders and rocks. So the
Okay.
fortress itself seems to almost blend in with these large boulders that take up a lot of space.
That's good. I'm gonna jump down before the ship lands. Just because I
Oh.
can.
As the ship lands,
Yeah.
you mean as the ship is landing?
Like a boop, boop, like a little monk
You
jump.
do like a superhero landing.
I do like a little Aang, like jump down from Appa as he's landing type of thing.
Make a dexterity check for me.
The one time I fail. Let's see. That is a 20, actually.
Okay.
Nice.
So the ship starts getting low enough to where you feel like it's safe enough for you to exit. You leap over the railing and manage to land in an open area away from any of the rubble that may have disturbed your attempted leap to coolness, and you land, or without relative damage to yourself, without causing relative damage to yourself. The rest of you in the ship, you feel the nice little vibration of the ship, like finally touching the ground.
I'll go ahead and say on the murmur, I'm going to take a look around outside. It looks pretty desolate out here.
Okay.
I'll reply back. Like, well, what do you see?
It's mostly ruins. There's... what was that? Mostly ruins. there's a bit of a forest. It looks like the fort that's here, the ruins of it, kind of blends into the rock that's around. I just want to make sure there's no bandits hiding around. If anyone wants to join.
I'll go up top in just a moment, but just give me a minute. And one final check on Zaldivar, make sure he's okay, and then I'll write a note that just says, "You're safe now. Eat this," and I'll leave one of the poultices like on a nightstand, and I'll just sign it, Kindred.
Okay. How very Alice in Wonderland of you. Drink me.
Sonder, I will join you. Do not go far, please. I will be right there. And I go out there to meet him.
Okay. Everybody else, you guys stayed on the ship?
Well, I don't know what's happening because I don't have the spice
spice
in.
marine.
I have to.
Oh yeah, you have to reattune to it.
And Iskra hasn't put hers back in and has totally forgot about it because she's only been wearing it for the few days that she's been part of the team.
Yeah.
So
Y'all
it's
might
sitting
have
down in the engine room still.
Y'all might have heard Soul like clomping as he ran by to get to the deck.
You guys can make perception checks if you wish, or if you know that you guys would just be kind of relaxing for the moment.
Actually, if we're by, heard him say that we're by ruins, and if we're how far away from Silvery Moon are we?
You are still a good, I want to say, close to 500 miles south.
Just for the fact that if we're like around-ish, I figure I would know the area, so I'd like to do a
Right.
history check to see where we're at. Like
Exactly.
the
Yeah,
mountains and the forest and
you're
everything.
about 500 or so miles away.
So can I do a history check just to
Oh.
like, see what I remember about the place?
Sure. I mean, you don't know what. Yeah, for Great Peak Mountains.
22.
22. For the most part, you know, the Great Peak Mountains aren't really inhabited anymore. Not by really anybody. It had at one time had you know, a couple. It had been part of like close to the edges of a trade route, so there were a couple of forts and small settlements that had been made, but those have been long abandoned that you know of. You also know that it's still pretty wild country considering its location relative to any of the other major cities. It's southeast of the high forest still, and there's not much in the way of between the Great Peak Mountains and the large Anarok Desert. There's not really anything. The Great Peak Mountains also does contain part of the Black Road, which is the road that goes east to west that is cut straight through the desert. So you know that it's, you know, there are potentials for traffic there, but it doesn't. It cuts more like directly through it than it does like go any sort of along the lengthwise.
I'll just kind of, on my way. Oh no, I would have waited till we got up to the deck to look around and see and do that. So then I'll just kind of like look around for Sonder and join him, and once I meet up, I'll give him like the Cliff Notes version of where we're at.
Okay.
Okay.
Memories. Okay. So, Soul and Sonder, and Kindred. Are you going with them, or are you just going up there to kind of look around?
I'll go with like, cause he's still around the ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with.
All right. Aliquin, what are you doing?
Did I hear Soul run by?
You can do the perception check to see if you heard.
So that's a no.
16.
16. Yeah, you would have heard something. You would have heard his footsteps, unless Soul was trying to be quiet, which I doubt it.
You probably would have also heard Sander stopping his music.
Peek my head through. So where are you going?
So I'm already like running past you, and I just kind of yell out, down to ground, where's Sonder? But like loud yelling.
Okay. I grab my cloak and I kind of like put it on as I walk out up to the deck, just to see where we just landed.
Okay. So yeah, you meet up on the top deck with Kindred, Soul, and Saunders. You guys are landed on the ground here within the inside courtyard of what looks like an abandoned fortress or fort. So what are you guys doing?
I just want to look around, see what's here at the ruins, the fort. If there's anyone who has been staying here recently or tried to occupy this space.
Right. All right. So then, as you guys lower the gangplank and go down along the edges, you can see you probably still have about an hour before nightfall hits. Go ahead and make an investigation check then, as you check out the nearby area.
I'm gonna see Soul or Sonder as he goes down, and I'm gonna follow him to see what he's doing.
Hey, I'm just scoping out the area. If you want to join me.
Yeah, this is super pretty out here. It's really good to get off the ship for a bit.
All right. I got a 4. I got a humble 4.
Okay.
I will help too, looking around for. So.
I'm not the investigative type.
Okay.
Apparently, or Saunders not.
Well, there's not a lot to be found so far that you have seen.
Really,
I'll try.
Just looking for any campfires that have been made, or food that's been left out, or whatnot.
Right. As best as you can tell, as you explore the area, this fortress or this fort has been abandoned for a while. There doesn't seem to be anything that has been already taken from the stone walls. It's just there's a couple of rooms that haven't caved in or collapsed at all, and they are barren of any sort of recent activity.
Any markings or anything on anything? Writings?
Not that you would have noticed. No, not that you would have seen anything. Everything seems like pretty heavily worn from the elements here. However long ago this had people in it, it's been more than a few decades.
Kindred, you know Silvery. Are you familiar with what this place used to be?
I told you already. This great peak.
Great Peak Mountains.
Well, the fortress, the ruins themselves.
There's a lot of places that's come and go, abandoned. They used to be on the edges of trader routes. I told you this. Were you not listening and just flies more?
It must have had some interference.
So, anyway, yeah, it's used to be old trade routes, so there could be activity, there could not, but we are nearby the Black Road, which intersects a lot of places, so it's possible that we may see something. So just that way we're aware of.
Right.
And with that, I'll start heading back to the ship since we kind of scoped it out and we're starting to see.
Okay.
I'd like to kind of roll over and get up and head to the kitchen and
Sure.
start helping with dinner.
Sure. I mean, at this point, it's kind of been a lot of fend for yourself more than like any sort of prepared meals. The larders are pretty well stocked, but they're stocked with like travel supplies and things. So
Okay.
you just go in there and grab a plate or whatever you need.
All right. Well, since it's starting to get dark, I'm gonna go ahead and grab something then and head to the galley.
Okay. Galil, were you gonna say something?
I'm gonna go to the deck.
Okay. You go up to the deck.
I'm gonna peer out and then take in the scenery. Namaste, primeval awareness, with my last first level spell slot.
Okay. All right. So. Let's see. As you make your way to the top of the little like passenger lounge on the top deck, kind of close your eyes and focus out your senses, trying to listen to nature and whatever you might be feeling there in the area. Don't come up with anything more than the cool wind of the fresh mountain air on your face, as it doesn't seem like you are in any immediate danger from the crazy things that you normally can sense.
Finally. I'm gonna go hunt for some food then.
Okay. All right. Going by yourself?
Yeah.
With Finn, I mean?
Well, yeah.
Do
Okay.
I see him in passing on my way back to the ship at least?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. I'll just look at him and like, oh, you're awake and dressed. But you still have that potion I gave you?
Yeah, why? I think it's in my room.
Okay. Go ahead and keep it. Hold on to it. Might do you good, but good job. And then I'll just keep walking by. So with that, you can add a potion of vitality to your inventory. It's got two charges on it.
All right. Iskra, are you just kind of gonna eat dinner? Is that low-key evening then?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I finish up before anyone else comes down, then I'll, put my plate away and head up to the top, head up to the deck.
Okay. Sandra, do you still keep looking out around, or are you just gonna hang back at the ship?
Yeah, I'm gonna make the camp there on the fort, somewhere that's kind of hidden from view. It's not so open.
Sure. You pick one of the rooms that seems to have enough open space to where creating a small little camp inside of it wouldn't give the fire away, from a long distance, but also wouldn't choke you with the amount of smoke from the flames itself. So are you gonna stay there as well, or stay at the camp? I mean, while Galil goes to hunt.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot.
Okay, Aliquin, just checking in with everybody. What everybody's doing.
I'm just on the deck. I was with Sander down by the ruins. Am I still with Sander right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just asking what you were planning to do for the next little bit.
I'm looking around at all this stuff. I kind of turned to Sander. I was like, "Oh, wow, this is really pretty out here. It's really quiet too."
It is. I want to know what it used to be exactly. The history behind it. I wonder if Aelin knows.
Probably, yeah.
This could be one of our. I mean, it might be too close, but it could be one of our extraction points, somewhere where we could be safe next to Silvery Moon if we need to come back or escape.
This is like 500 miles southeast. It's not close. Just saying. Just so you know, okay. It's not like a close spot. It's a ways off still.
Okay. Well, it's a spot.
Yeah. It's still a spot. No, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying it's not like on the other side of the mountain, kind of thing.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not like Silver Moon's like within reach.
Right.
But yeah,
I,
it's nice. It's pretty.
Oh yeah, like as I'm looking around, I'm gonna go ahead and do detect magic, just because.
Sure.
As I'm doing this, like I'm kind of looking around and I'm talking to Sonder. I was like, last time that we were at Ruins, we actually met a really good friend. Have you heard about oh fuck, what was her name?
Kamala?
Yes, Kamala. I guess you heard of her.
I've heard of her, but I've never actually met her myself.
Yeah. An amazing warlock. We actually kind of just like this. We were in a little ruined area, and she just kind of like popped out of like nowhere, like a little super hyper cat lady, and it was nice. It was nice.
She sounds like fun.
Oh, super strong, super powerful, very ADD. This just good person.
I hope she's okay during this. She's not been captured.
She's actually, last time I saw her, she was back with my dad.
Oh, she's from the same place as you.
That's very confusing, but I think so. Yeah, last time I saw her, she was with my dad and my mom. So, I mean, I'm assuming she's still there and still well.
That's good. Perhaps we can meet her again.
I intend to.
So much has changed.
Yeah.
I'm going to go into the forest and see if I can find some herbs or something to occupy my time. It seems this place is a bit barren.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, it is getting to be dusk before nightfall. Just FYI. Galil, go ahead and make a survival check for me.
17.
17. Okay. Sandra, are you going out by yourself?
No, I was going to go with him.
Same.
Okay. So you guys are going separately. You three and Galil. No, I meant like you three are kind of wandering around. You guys go ahead and make survival checks as well for me.
Okay.
So it's starting to get dark?
Oh, yes. Yeah, night's about to fall.
Yeah.
So with that, I'll start doing my setting up my 4 alarms.
Okay.
I only got an 11.
Where's my skills?
Humble 14.
I got a 15.
All right. And then Galil, you said 17?
Yep.
Okay. Galil, you do manage to find some mountain goats, I guess. No, the closest equivalent to the not far up north, but a little further up along the ridges of the mountain, a little ways from the forest line itself. You kind of had scouted enough to where you had noticed the track. Make a perception check for me.
16.
16. You notice that these goats didn't really seem to run much from you or run much like away. Once you had taken down one of them, they seemed to be kind of stick together in a herd, but then go too far off.
You done shot someone's flock.
But you not really
Taking the bodies.
Yeah, not
Anyways.
much. Not really paying. This was something that you kind of noticed. You grab your prize and start heading back to the ship. Meanwhile, Alec, Soul, and Sonder, you guys head into the woods themselves and find a couple of useful little mushrooms and things that you can use, Sonder, for soup.
I am proficient in herbalism, and so I can apply my proficiency bonus to any ability checks to identify or apply herbs.
Right. You found a couple of mushrooms. There's not a lot. This high up into the mountains. There's not like it's not like dense forest or anything like that. But there are a couple of things that kind of hidden away, tucked away from the elements, in rotten logs and such that you were able to find some things. I'm trying to remember which one of you rolled the lowest.
I did 15.
At an 11.
No, I think I did at an 11. Yeah.
11.
I had a 14.
Okay. So as you kind of are helping Sonder along, you guys have been navigating through. You see there are a lot of these boulders that have fallen or rolled down from the sides of the mountain. Some of them knocking over trees, and you can see where they have carved a nice little path and kind of broken trees along the way. And as you guys were kind of walking around and minding your own business, you lean back onto one of the logs that is kind of by this little patch of rocks that you guys have been, that Sandra's currently like digging stuff out from around. Alcuin's not too far off, kind of sorting things too. You lean back on this this log, and it kind of gives a little away under you and moves back forward. Gives back a little bit.
Wait, so I don't fall?
No, you don't fall, but you lean on it
Okay.
and it kind of moves back. It's not very stable, but it kind of moves around a little bit.
So I do this kind of like a little jerk motion. Don't lean on this, it is loose back here.
I like a soul. Like, are you okay? I'm kind of like laughing to him.
Yeah, I'm okay. And I kind of
Right.
like try to play it off, and I just kind of like kick at that log thing that I was leaning on.
And roll for initiative.
You turn and kind of kick at the log, and you notice that there are actually two logs that are close together. Make another perception check for me, and with disadvantage at this point, because no, you have dark vision, don't you? So you're fine.
Yeah. Here we go.
The log.
21.
21. As your eyes kind of focus on what it is you're looking at, you kind of hear what sounds like snoring.
I was kidding.
Alcuin, what have you done?
You see that one of the logs now moves and shifts, and what was appeared to be a log before, you now see is actually a really large lake. 2 legs, actually.
Oh, guys.
I'm gonna go over to Soul as quietly as I can and put my hand around his mouth and just like have him back away with me if I can.
You can. Okay.
I'll
I'll say that I'm
stealth
kind
over
of
to
crouched
him.
down.
All 3 of you
Doing
make
that.
a stealth check for me.
Oh,
You guys are
fuck.
trying to be quiet.
Oh, I had disadvantage on stealth.
21.
I got out of there just in time.
6 minus 3.
Oh no.
So, do I get a reroll? I don't remember.
I don't think so. No,
I feel
unless
like
you
he's a
have luck.
druid. Is that a thing?
No, it's not.
No.
Halflings can re-roll like for luck if you have luck.
Yeah. I
All
don't even
right,
know what this
'cause-
thing is.
I got a 1 on the die.
Oh no.
Kidding.
Sounds about right. As you are listening to the sound of this snoring, and Sonder, who you're kind of like freaking out that there's this large, apparently person that is laying here on the ground. You back up, and Sonder puts his mouth, or tries to put his mouth or his hand around your mouth, and in the process scares you to where you give off a gasp with a little bit of a yelp somewhere in there.
Yeah, a little bit of a higher pitch than he's normal.
Yeah.
Talking.
And as you do so, you hear that the snoring stops, and the two logs kind of shift. And what the boulder that Sandra had just been digging around under, you see this large hand come over the top and grab the top of the boulder. You see about 15, 16 feet tall of a man just kind of peers out over the from over the side of this rock as this large hand is like, "What is this?"
I will talk in kind of a panic, and I don't know if he meant to talk like this, but Sol knows giant, so
Okay.
he automatically starts speaking giant, and says like, "Oh, I'm sorry to awaken you. Please forgive me. I am very clumsy, and we just stopped for rest, and we leave first thing in the morning. Please forgive us. We do not mean to disturb your slumber."
The giant that has now fully sat up and is kind of looking down at you guys, still with his hand and arm kind of hanging over this rock, looks at you. "You are very far away from home, aren't you, little ones?" And he's speaking in common.
In common? Okay. We mean to only stay here for a short time. Like, we should be gone by morning. We mean no harm. We were simply looking for mushrooms.
There are very few mushrooms these days here. He kind of slowly gets up and starts to stand. His full stature now. You guys are now looking up at this giant, gray-skinned man.
I have Dimension Door ready.
So he just looks down at you. "Oh, where did you come from, little ones?"
So we have traveled down the road. Mm-hmm.
Make a deception check for me.
With advantage because I nod for him.
Oh, that's totally, yeah, that's what did it.
Okay.
And
Hold on. Hold on. Come on. Let's see. Why is it not bringing it up?
You want me to roll?
Sorry.
You want me to roll for you?
Yeah, please roll for me, and then I'll just, yeah.
What's not working?
I'm trying to pull up the app that I normally... I'm just going to pull up the app on the website instead.
Right.
That I can get to really quickly. Hold on. Never mind. I was using the app instead of the
browser.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, since I'll roll for you in the intern, roll a natural 19.
Oh, okay. Then I add on 2, so 19, 20, 21? 21.
Nice. As you kind of, as you're just like, yep. You see Eloquent who comes up to your side. It's just like his eyes wide, nodding as well. All three of you looking up at this giant man. The man kind of nods. From the road, then.
Right.
Well, then you must not be the ones that Novaya spoke of. Well, be careful. There are dangers in these mountains.
I appreciate that. Thank you. We will be more careful.
Thank you.
He kind of
Is
just
this your...
starts. He reaches down. You see, he grabs like a bag of like furs that have all been sewn together. It's like almost like a harvesting pouch, and just puts it over his shoulders. What were you gonna say?
Nothing. I don't want to continue conversation.
I thought you were gonna say something, so I was just like, what?
Never mind. No, by the way.
He gets up, gets his things together, and goes to start walking back up towards the mountain. Just a slow, lumbering step.
Okay.
As he goes, starts walking away from you guys.
Close call.
Meanwhile, you guys back on the airship have now been brought some goodies, or at least, a goat. Khalil, you have like any light at all? Because there's like just darkness. Yeah.
Let me quickly turn it on.
It's just like, where did it go?
I know. It was like
slowly disappeared into the dark.
I know. It was like, and he's dead. All right.
Elbows. So
He's
as
taking
we
the sun setting very seriously.
Yeah.
So then seeing the group come back on the towards the deck of the ship.
Yeah, hold on. What were you gonna say, Eloquent?
As we're leaving, I kind of elbow Soul. I'm like, well, you want to practice.
Well, but that is,
I put my hands up.
Yeah, but that big, and would hurt. And is nice guy, so I do not want to.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah, he seemed like a nice guy.
I agree.
He didn't need this. But if he is the largest thing around here, and there are still things that can hurt us around here, then what is he talking about?
I don't really know what he was talking about. No, I didn't want to ask either. I didn't want to, intrude.
Should we go back to camp then?
Let's definitely go back to camp. Yes.
You guys kind of like power jog, walk back as quickly as possible. You guys still see him. Yeah, you guys see him like kind of going somewhat. Like you guys head back towards where the fortress is, and he kind of goes in a similar path, but at an angle away from the fortress, but still up towards the tops of the mountains.
Oh, good.
It's like we're at Walmart and we keep on passing each other down, the each aisle, which.
It's like really awkward.
All right. So, Kindred, you are staying on the top. Are you on the top of the ship?
Yeah, I'm doing my rituals.
Oh yeah.
But
well, this probably would have been
seeing them. Go ahead.
No, it's like you're in the time that they were gone. It would have been about an hour that had passed.
Okay. So then, were y'all going back to Saunders' little makeshift camp, or y'all coming back to the ship?
What is the nod for, Saunders? Is that yes to the ship or yes to the camp?
Oh, I was waiting on what they would say, but what he said, I think it'd be safer to get back to the ship.
Oh.
Yeah. I wanted to spend the night outside, but it does seem like it'd be safer in the ship.
tired of the ship. It is so small.
Well,
We-
if you want,
You can still sleep
we can
outside
take
if you want.
shifts.
Okay, I will sleep outside in that camp that you make.
I do have a perimeter right around the ship set, so
You know, so that sounds like a really good idea. I kind of like take off my cloak. I kind of like look down on my armor, and I'm just like, he was a little bit louder than I expected it would have been. I kind of like jump up and down on the jingles.
All right.
Did you want to?
Go no good.
Did you want to camp out over here? And I kind of like point to this little flat, dirty area.
Well, I think Sonder had set up a spot, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
Mhm.
I like
Yes.
Zonder.
If you guys are comfortable with staying outside at the place that I set up, we can stay there. I just didn't know how comfortable you all felt after seeing a giant.
I mean, he was nice.
He was nice.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I will protect you, and I go like that, and I have you both under each arm.
We can take shifts as well. But yeah, that ship was getting a little musky.
Yeah.
I needed to get outside.
It's not me. I wash.
Oh.
Yep, definitely. All right, so Galil, you have brought the goat back and started preparing it for dinner, I suppose.
I'm on the ship, by the way, because I don't know about their camp.
Right.
well,
Yeah.
after my casting, because it'll have been about 40 minutes to do all 4 of them. I'll just kind of murmur and just like check in on them and just ask how they're doing. Like, are y'all still alive? Right? You haven't fucked it up.
Oh, we haven't told them about the about the giant. That'd probably be a good idea.
We can tell them tomorrow. It's okay. We don't want to. Well, then again,
Well,
no, giant
Kindred's
is
going
okay.
to have our heads. Well, he's going to have our throats if we don't tell him.
I messaged back to Kindred. We're gonna have a little camp out tonight. Just see the stars a little bit.
Okay.
You want to join us?
Yeah, you want to join? I can make a fire and we can cook out and be like old
I'm-
times.
I'm
I have
good. I'm gonna
mushrooms.
stay on the ship.
With indoor plumbing.
But which direction is your camp in case something happens? We can get to you fast.
It's there within
Shouldn't
the
be
fortress.
too-
Yeah,
yeah.
it's there within the fortress. There's a couple of like little stoned, what looked like they had once been like cottages or part of one of the walls. And you saw earlier whenever there was like the campfire that they had set up inside of it. You can see it flickering through some of the windows. It's not super visible from far away because this is a little cottage on the inside of the fortress itself. But you can see the light from where they are kind of setting up their little fort within the fort. Bring the pillows and blankets out, y'all.
I kind of like wave up towards the ship. You can't see me, but I'm right here. I'm waving at you.
Right. And then I'll just murmur back. Well, if something happens and you need us, just shoot a fireball right up in the sky. Or firebolt.
Fireball. I heard fireball. Yes, we'll do.
But so then after that, I guess I'll go down and kind of make something to eat, make an extra plate for Zaldivar, and go back and check on him. And where's Aelin and Cart been this whole time?
Aelin, you suppose, has been in his room. And when you open the door for Salvador,
Oh,
I was like, Zaldivar, that's not right.
Voldemort.
Outdoor.
He is in there currently, kind of in the chair, leaning back against the wall, his eyes closed.
like he got up?
No, I mean, no. Afriel is in the room with Zaldivar. Salvador.
Oh,
It's fine.
We're like, it's a name change. It's happened.
It's done.
It's canon.
Yeah. So he is. Afriel is the one who's leaning on against the wall, kind of like the chair, kind of like set back a little bit, where it's resting on its two back legs, but he's resting there against the wall at the moment. They're both asleep.
Okay.
Oh, that's cute.
So then, seeing that, my note and my poultice still there on the nightstand?
Mm-hmm.
So then, seeing that and looking over at both of them, I'll just like leave the plate with for two on the nightstand, and then I'll go back to the kitchen and make myself another sandwich.
Okay. As you are exiting the door, or get to the door and about to close it, you hear Afriel. Thank you.
I just kind of pause and just nod and shut the door.
Going back to you making your food. So there you have the boys camping out, most of them. Some of them, half of them, some of them. Galil, what are you doing?
Literally finish eating, but I'm gonna keep the mountain goat head.
Okay.
So, and talk, Kindred. Where did you say everyone was?
They're off that way in the ruins we looked at earlier. They're gonna change the scenery. They want to camp out and be special.
Okay. I have an idea.
You might even can see their campfire light, because I don't think they're smart enough to realize that, you shouldn't have lights out at night.
Yeah.
It was out of the way.
Guess still have to learn the hard way. On
You know,
that note,
it might be fun to teach them the hard way.
you want to go scare them with me?
Let me finish my sandwich.
I'm gonna go find Iskra as well.
Okay. Iskra, what are you up to?
I was actually just chilling up on deck, so
You've been up there this whole time?
I went downstairs and I ate.
She got some
and
food.
I cleaned up my plate afterwards.
I'm so lonely up here.
Just
wants
went
some
back
fresh
up.
air.
Yeah, went back upstairs,
Went
and
back
you're
up.
now staring in that cold, cool mountain air that's super, super fresh, staring up at the stars that just
Yeah, if
cover
it's
the
clear,
sky,
I'm
yeah.
definitely just looking up at that. There's, I'm sure, light pollution that I'm used to that I don't see. Seems like
magic
this.
light pollution. That's definitely it. Damn, is that League and all their bright lights?
Exactly.
Okay. So, yes,
So give me like a few minutes to finish my sandwich. Where is Carp at?
he's still in the room with Salvador. I said it right that time.
So when him and Afriel? Oh,
Afriel.
Aelin.
Oh,
Where was Aelin then?
Aelin's been in as
His
out
room.
of sight. Yeah, it's probably in his room.
Okay. So I'll just message Carp and just be like, we're gonna go play a innocent prank on the guys. We'll be back in a little while. I set up a perimeter. I'll warn you in case anything shows up. And then I'll go look for Galil and see what he wants to do.
Okay. You find Galil. You find Iskra on the deck after looking in around
I'm
the.
just lying out there with my head resting in my arms, looking up, like at the very bow, like at the very front.
Very front of the ship.
Looking up at the sky.
I'm gonna stealth to her.
Okay, make a stealth check. Oh man,
I'm
you were just all sorts of trouble tonight.
I'm plus 11 at the moment, so I'm using it.
Oh yeah.
21.
Do I need to try to perception?
I mean, you can try.
It's 30.
Yeah, no. Yeah. It was a 10.
Is it 10? Okay. So yeah, you are enraptured with the stars that are covering your entire field of view at the moment. What are you gonna do, Galil?
I'm gonna go stealthily, creep up to her with the goat head.
You're about to get monk punched. Monked. Yeah.
Monk fucked up.
I'm gonna use prestidigitation for faint musical notes of horror theme,
Okay.
and just put it over her face to where it like scares her.
That's cute.
Okay. Fair enough. So Iskra, as you're, I feel like I have some that I can use for this.
If at any point I come out on the deck and see this, I just want to like stand there and just watch it unfold.
Thinking to myself,
Yes,
there's
you're
just so many.
They're so peaceful. All of a sudden, this this goat head comes in front of your eyes.
I try I scream and try to like log roll like you would do if you're on fire out of the way of it and swipe at it with my left arm.
Go ahead and make an attack roll if you will. That was brilliant.
That is... There's a 17 on the dice, and I need to look at what my attack is these days.
I'm pretty sure it hits.
Woo! Yeah, my unarmed strike is +7, so...
It definitely hits.
Jesus.
Just you like smack at the goat, it like launches it off onto the side of the deck. Here's the thump, 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 of this like horn over fluffy skull, just like thump, 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 rolls away.
I
You,
spring up onto my feet and look around.
you see Galil there. I'm assuming probably laughing or not.
Now I'm like, sorry about that. I had to do it.
All right, phantom image guy. I get it now. Chuckle.
Anyways, sorry for that. I'm just preparing for what's gonna happen in a few.
And what's going to happen in a few? That could
Me-
possibly involve a spectral goat head.
Me and Kindred are gonna go scare the guys. You want to come with?
I'm not sure they all like me very much right now, but sure.
They need some laughter in their lives, so why not? I'm gonna go back over there, pick up the goat head, wait on Kindred, come out.
At this point, did I see that? Did I catch the tail end of that?
Oh
Or did
yeah,
I
I'm
come up
sure.
with that?
I'm sure you did.
I would have just been over there, just like, and then I'll walk up and just be like, "So y'all ready?"
Oh yeah.
I'm still like tingly from shock. Like, sure, yes. Let's go.
Okay.
Besar Perim.
So I let Carp know that we'll be right back. We're gonna go have some innocent fun, and then I'll like point to the direction of the camp.
Okay.
Like they're that way.
Yeah, and as you look over the edges of the ship, you can see still here within the courtyard of the partially crumbled walls of this fort, you can see one of the little stone cottages that kind of has some flickering campfire light coming from it right now.
I look over to wherever the heck the goat head rolled and I poke Gully a little. You can go get that though.
Mage
Yeah.
hand.
Okay. So what are you doing?
So I guess we stealth our way over. But
Yeah.
before doing so, I will tell the two. So I have an idea. I pull out my. Where's it at?
Oh, I know what you can do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before I even get it, do your eyes just like give a nod?
Mm-hmm.
I pull out the wand of pyrotechnics.
My eyes narrow.
This will cause a big, bright bang. Innocent, harmless, but it'll do the trick. And I just kind of put it back in my pocket, and I'm like, all right.
All right.
So I guess we'll just roll for stealth as we try to sneak up.
Yeah.
Nat 20 plus 11.
Ooh.
So we're telling stories by a little fire that we made.
Mm-hmm. What do you
I'm
want to
talking? So my dad, his lab, like it's just amazing. Like all the machinery he has, and like just electricity goes everywhere. And I'm assuming some person actually broke in to like steal something. It's I don't know. Just the guards just need to be fired over there. It's crazy.
Got an 8.
It was
So
a
then-
23 for me.
So that was you're telling that to Sonder and Soul, right? You guys are the ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just explaining all the crazy stuff that it's at my dad's lab, and
It sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
I've never heard of such things. It's past our technology at the moment.
me
Yeah.
too. And like, I don't know, the guards there, they have to be fired or something, because that's just how could you let someone just break in? It's just unsafe.
Perhaps it was an inside job.
That's what I told my dad and my mom. They didn't believe me because what? No one would do anything like that to the family. It's stupid.
Soul is just nodding his head like he understands everything y'all are saying.
Fair enough. All right.
So the wand, it can shoot up to 60 feet. So I guess that's how close I would want to try to get.
Okay. Let's see. What's everybody's passive? What's your passive perception?
Oh, shit.
Mine is 18. So Iskra and Galil match, but since Kindred's going to be 60 feet away, I think he'd be okay, regardless.
I have a 11.
I'm 31, so
Yeah.
Unless you did
Mine's,
pass without a trace. No.
Mine's
Alex, go ahead.
15.
Yours is 15?
Passive perception's 11. Dark vision 120.
Okay, yeah, just need the passive perception. Okay, so and then you rolled what, Galil? You said 30
31.
to sneak up. Okay, and then Iskra.
I had a 23 in my stealth.
So everybody, for the most part, has been completely quiet as you guys are talking around the fire and discussing all of the strange things that are in Ravnica, wherever Alcuin's family seems to be from. What sort of mayhem are you guys planning on doing exactly?
Well, once I get within 60 feet, I'll pull out my wand. And is there like a window? Like where can I
There's
see?
a couple of like open areas that look like they had once been windows that are now just open squares.
So it says I could just use an action and use a charge. And it creates a harmless burst of multicolored light that I point at up to 60 feet away. Essentially a firecracker.
Right. As you do.
That's amazing. And so you said that you found you were at a sex circus? What is that?
So, Rakdos. That's all I have to say.
Wow.
No, like, honestly, look it up, because this mask that had the guy make.
I'm going to use elemental attunement to try to snuff out the campfire.
Okay.
It's coming together.
So as you guys are talking and you're discussing about the crazy
I put the mask on. And
carnal circus. Yeah, you put the mask on to kind of show them what it was exactly that had inspired that creation in particular.
Yeah.
The flames go out there.
So Soul doesn't really think about it and kind of just does it without thinking much. He does druidcraft to light the campfire again.
Oh, that was weird.
I like like, damn it.
Can you do it again?
I can actually.
Actually, seeing her do that, I would like to and when she does it again, that's when I'll fire the
Nice.
wand.
So the fire dies down once again, and then suddenly, as so you kind of turn to the fire and like, that's weird. You go to light the fire with Druidcraft once more. Now all of a sudden the entire room fills with a bright bang of light. It just like almost like a flashbang, but multiple colors just explode from the central point with it right in front of you guys. Zooming past, you feel like something just exploded in front of you. Galil, what are you doing?
I am gonna be I'm putting the goat head literally in front of my head right here, where it's sticking out, covering me. And then I'm gonna use prestidigitation to make 2 eyeballs appear in both my hands. That's 2 effects at once.
Yeah.
And the last effect, I'm gonna have the freaking musical notes again with the horror, but it's gonna be like a demonic goat as well.
So that's and you're doing like jumping out of the window or in the doorway?
I'm gonna be jumping through the doorway.
Through the doorway. So as the explosion goes off, you see this another person in the doorway, as suddenly a goat-headed individual with 2 glowing eyes for hands appears in the small room with organ music.
Okay, so here's what happened.
You shit yourself. It just smells like cow shit.
I yell out. I yell out like we're under attack.
Yep.
I stare at both Saul and Sunder, and I do wall of fire in front of us.
Yep, and I do this. I kind of yell out, "Oh, scary!" And then I slam my hand in the ground. I go down to the dirt and I start whispering in like Sylvan. I'm summoning a monster.
Nice. Then I'm gonna fling out towards the demonic creature and attack.
How do you attack it with? Just like running forward to attack.
Fists. Yeah.
Okay.
Fists in hand.
All right. So running forward, you're just like charge and yell. What was it you said you did, Eloquent?
So I'm casting wall of fire, like in front of us, like directly in front of us.
Okay. So
this music is perfect.
Okay, so as Sonder...
How big is this camp?
It's not...
How big is this camp?
It's like, this room is probably like 15 by like...
Oh, I thought
10...
we were outside.
No, this is like inside. No, you're inside you're inside of a building.
Oh,
currently.
okay.
So, the goat that appears and makes the noise does the explosion. Sonder runs forward. As he's running, this wall of fire just erupts in front of between Galil and Sonder, causing Sonder to like stop suddenly, inches from the back end of this flame. Galil, go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw for me. I think that's what wall of fire requires.
Flawless.
This music is
30-20.
Okay, so I think that's what, half damage? If they
yes.
Go ahead and roll for whatever is required. So as this wall of fire erupts in front of you, Galil, you kind of dodged off to the side a little bit into the doorway, but you can feel that part of your clothing has started to burn, and you started to pat yourself off as the goat head rolls off your body and through the flames, now on fire as it lands in the middle of this goat camp. The hair burning away as its skin kind of melts and cooks from its eyes.
So 12.
So 12. You take 12 points of fire damage. Halved.
Can I use my reaction?
Sure.
I'll shield him.
Huh?
I'll ward him.
You ward him. So as he jumps back. Okay. So yeah, as he jumps back to kind of help shield you from the fire, this goat head rolls off into the middle, right where the campfire rod once was, and is now just sizzling and cooking on fire.
When I get an opportunity, I'd like to just drench the room with create water. Just soak everybody.
So as that
Up from the ceiling, have it.
it's just instant what's it? It's like the
Downpour.
sprinkler systems in the
Deluge.
building just like as like the fire starts to go out. I don't know if the wall of fire goes out, but that and leaving everybody now in the room covered in wetness and
Don't forget.
He's summoning a
It's a
monster.
Lich Lord.
oh yeah, and what is it exactly that you are doing?
So this spell has a range of 60 feet, and it's gonna
Oh,
go
it's gonna be
right next to where the goat scary man demon thing is. It is a giant constrictor snake, which is what are they called? Attack rating of 2, huge beast.
Yeah. So as you go back outside of this room, that you just saw explode in a fire, you hear the smoke go, but then the hissing kind of continues, and as you kind of like chuckling, laughing to yourself, glad you're alive from the random explosion of fire, you like slowly turn to the side and are met with like an anaconda with what was her face, Jennifer Lopez style, like giant snake that's just staring at you in the face, just like.
Also, as a bonus action,
Oh shit.
yeah, I summon a oh poop, where'd it go? Hold on. Here it is. I summon a bear spirit totem, so a huge like spirit bear is now there.
There in the room after the
Yeah.
rain has fallen. So Gilio, you are face to face with this anaconda. Iskra, you have doused everybody with wetness. Kindred is just smiling and nodding at the bananas that has just gone down.
Loving it. Loving every moment of it.
And with that, we will go on break for a couple minutes as we try and recover what is happening with all of these people.
Oh no.
Oh my
Good
gosh.
times,
All right,
good
we'll be
times.
back in a couple minutes, guys.
Oh God. Like I said, don't forget there's a wall of fire, so
Yeah.
no one can see each other.
Right on the other side.
As far as I know, they decapitated the goat man.
We did
That
it.
was so. That was a lot. That was a lot that just happened. There's a lot to unpack from that, I guess.
Eloquent. You just killed the Lich Lord. That was amazing.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. Well, let's do not that song anymore. Okay, so currently, Galil, as you turn and you see this giant snake, and it just goes staring back at you. There's remind me on the wall of fire. Can it be like doused with water, or is it just magical fire that does not get doused? Because I don't remember.
Solid surface within range you can make 60 feet long, 20 feet high, 1 foot thick. Appears when creature makes dexterity. Da 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 da. So, one side of the wall selected when you cast the spell.
Okay, so in the water, then probably I would imagine, since it's magic fire, that it's still up despite the water, the little rain on the inside. But you did put out the goat head that was on fire, so that's nice. But so now, Sandra, you have now just this wall of fire that you cannot see through, as it seems to have startled whatever was surprised your party. The snake is now just kind of staying there, seeing what Galil is going to do next, and that is where we left off.
I'm going to get into I'm going to stand about 10 feet back and then get into a fighting position,
as now that
ready
you are
to
all,
strike.
as you guys are now currently doused in water that has rained
I'm
over
liking
everybody.
it.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Rain on
May.
And I'll go
Okay.
ahead and prepare a water whip with the rain that's kind of fallen. Gather it and
Sure. Iskra, now that you are there, what are you doing? Watching this just to see what happens
Do
next?
I see the snake and everything?
The snake would be probably on the other side, because from one window and there's another window. So
Yeah.
imagine you're at the back, you just see this wall of fire that just went up, and don't know whatever happened to the other side.
Okay, great.
Sounds about accurate.
So then, waiting, like if we're doing like in combat style, waiting until I could go again. Seeing the wall of fire appear, I'll just message in at Aloquin and just let him know, like, hey, it's us. We got you three pretty good, but you gotta admit that was well planned.
Yeah, whenever I'm able to talk to, I'm like,
Yeah.
Sapcone. It's us.
Like I'm peering through the fire to see if I can see like it's just distorted images because of the heat, but
Right.
I'm just like, yeah, you got us good. And I look at Thunder and Soul. I'm just like,
Iskra, as you kind of turn to the wall that's behind you. You can see Iskra just kind of like waving, like hello.
I start laughing.
And Galil, currently you are in a staring contest with this giant snake.
oh,
I'm gonna
no.
go. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is
oh God.
I'm gonna look back at it deeply and just try to pet it.
Okay, make an animal handling check. I had a feeling you knew that I was going to do that.
14.
14.
It bites your head off.
So the snake, as it's like staring at you, it doesn't seem to move, and you move cautiously enough, never breaking eye contact. You reach up and touch the scaly, smooth skin of it, the side of its head, just kind of like caressing it down its side. It doesn't move. It doesn't do anything to attack you. You weren't attacking it, and apparently didn't feel threatened, so the snake doesn't do anything. Soul, you also hear Iskra and saying that she was there.
Yeah, I announced myself in Ravnican in my haste. In the heat of the moment.
So I think it's going to take Soul a couple of moments until it all starts registering to him that this was all just in fun and not a serious fight.
A
I
front,
guess.
yeah.
Because, okay, yeah. So I think he's still kind of on the ground from summoning that snake.
Yeah.
Okay. As it starts to kind of dawn on you, it's like, Kindred, do you move forward? Or you just message Eloquent?
I'll message and I'll kind of out in the
No.
open, like start walking.
Okay.
But seeing how they reacted, I'll kind of like keep my guard up just a little bit in case I need to like
defend yourself or duck.
Exactly.
It's an illusion. Kill them all.
All right. So, Eloquent, what are you doing?
Well, I look at Sander and Soul. I'm just like, I think that's our friends on the other side, just trying to mess with us or something.
That makes more sense.
What?
Wait,
What?
I'm glad you put that wall up.
Well,
The flames still like.
No, they're still there. They're still there.
Who's on the other side? Who's the goat demon?
I'm peering through. I'm just. Can I dispel it myself?
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of like just. And then it just.
Do the conductor like whoosh and the fire goes out. And you see Galil on the other side of the door just petting this giant snake, and that's not a euphemism.
So,
you guys are dorks, and I'm gonna like waterbend the water that I collected into his face.
Okay, a little splash of water goes into Galil's face.
Soul kind of just sits on the ground, like with his legs sticking out. He's processing.
He's processing right now. He's processing.
And then he says something in Sylvan and brings the snake back to kind of like wrap itself around him and put its like head somewhere on his shoulder, kind of like licking at his cheek.
Yeah.
I think the snake understood before he did that this was all just a joke.
Probably.
It was your thunder jacket, your rated jacket.
Oh,
Yeah.
your thunder buddy.
Thunder buddy.
Yeah.
Well, I look around at my now soaked area that we were going to sleep in. I guess we're not going to stay out here tonight, are we?
I could actually take care of this.
I can help.
I can too.
But the he's having a hard time. The giant said that there was worse bad things than him and scary goat demon man. That was scary, but that was funny. Like,
I'm gonna pick up the goat head and be like, "Look, it was just a costume. Everything is going to be okay."
I walk over to Soul. Now that he's sitting down, he's probably my height, and I'm just petting the top of his head.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb through the window. I'm sorry, Soul.
Oh,
that was
snake a hug.
that was funny. Funny. It was funny.
That sounds so convinced.
Yeah.
Convince yourself.
Yeah.
Right, and by this time, I figure I'm kind of like coming up towards the entryway. I'll just like look at Soul and be like, "That was your doing? The snake?"
Yes. This is Snake. Say hello,
Yes.
snake.
I also speak parcel tongue. No, I'll just kind of look and be like, "That's impressive for quick thinking instincts."
So I'll whisper to the snake, and then it kind of just like slithers away past everyone, and then just like from y'all's field of vision, I don't know, was there a tree or something? Kind of goes behind the tree and then looks like it doesn't come out from the other side. It just disappears.
Just kind of slithers around the corner and just eventually the last you see is a little tail disappear.
Yep.
As it's
And then
out of
same
sight.
thing with the bear totem. That big bear spirit looking thing just goes away.
Now, what did you guys mean by a giant?
Yeah, let's go back to that.
I agree.
Well, look at Sonder. We were out collecting mushrooms and herbs, and there's giants out there.
Yeah, there's giants in these woods. Nice giants.
And
But
immediately, since I'm in the doorway, I'm like looking
Start
around,
looking
like
nice giants.
knowing I just
make-
casted a bright firework, being like,
Make a perception check.
Well, and also, Sonder, didn't the giant say that there's like worse things out there? Or I really didn't know really what he said.
Yeah, he said there were scary things out in this forest, and
"That's
we
a
should be
5."
careful.
5.
It reaches.
Kinder's like, as you're looking out into the shadows of the night and within the forest, and you can only see like the dark edges of shadow, and even though with your dark vision you can see that there's nothing there, you still swear that there are things just beyond your sight that you cannot see, but you don't see anything. So
When they talk about there being worse things out there, I kind of look at the ground like, oh.
Well,
It could just be the fact that my senses are heightened, but
and you just did a flare. I mean, I can't even see
Yeah.
right now.
yeah,
you still have that little camera vision, where it's
Yeah,
like the
where you
little
look around and you
yeah.
still see the.
do y'all want to maybe head back to the
Burned
ship
image.
now? Because I think I saw something, but it could just be my mind and the flare.
It's probably best.
If
Who's
we don't
closest
attract
to
any
me?
real goat demons, I think we will have done a good job.
Who's
I thought we
closest to me, Sonder or Aliquin?
Who's what?
I think I
Who's
might be
closer?
Oh,
Okay.
because I'd gone up to you.
Soul
Comfort.
grabs Sonder, pulls him over, like sits him down in between his legs, and just kind of like holds him.
Oh, I let it happen.
you
I
don't
allow it.
I allow this.
Well, I look at Kindred. Well, I mean, I look at Kindred. I look back at the camp area, and like I'm remembering like old times of like how we used to camp out with like our old party and how it used to be. And I guess we should go back to the ship. I mean,
We can still camp outside. My perimeter extends a bit beyond the ship, but
I know, but
maybe
you guys.
I kind of fucked that up with my flare.
Well, and
It
you
was
guys.
all in good fun.
Well, yeah, no, it was, but you guys snuck up on us. Anyone else can sneak up on us too,
That's
Yeah.
true.
Lesson. It was a lesson. That's what it was. We were
It-
coming to teach y'all a lesson.
It could have been very dangerous, by the way.
Well, it seems like all of us were prepared for this demon creature. Especially Soul. That was amazing.
Where'd you get the go-ahead from?
I hunted.
Oh,
And he tested it out on me before all of you.
It was marvelous.
I would
Although-
like to have seen that.
Yeah.
When weird thing is, when I went hunting and got the goat, I think I got someone's herd.
Oh,
Please don't
I-
let it have been the Giants.
Well,
let's hope it didn't belong to that giant. Yeah.
I actually, I kind of like say out loud, didn't he have like a,
He had
Like
to
little-
pack with him and furs that connected into like a
like a pillow
traveling
or something?
backpack
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Oh gosh. you
I
killed
don't
the
know if he
Giants.
was a goat herder, but We can hope not.
I mean, giants are friendly, right?
Not always, no.
I mean, that one seemed fine. And I look at the
Mhm.
goat head and I'm just like, we probably should get rid of that.
I'm on it as I mold earth a giant hole and just mage hand roll it in.
Giant hole.
It works.
Damn.
All right.
Well, you guys missed the really cool story that Alkin was telling. What was that girl's name? Josiah?
Kamala.
She seems-
Kamala,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah,
Aw.
Kamala.
Oh, wait,
Aw,
did you
aw,
talk to
Kamala.
her or something? How is she?
She's good. She's with my do we want to finish this here? Do we want to go back to the ship?
Let's walk and talk.
Wait,
Okay.
you all
Yeah.
know Kamala
Walk
too?
and talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kamala was one of my very, very good friends.
She
Very,
was able
very
to
good.
shoot out 2 beams of Eldritch Blast when this one was only able to shoot out 1.
Hey, Galil.
Oh,
You know I've grown up, right?
Oh yeah?
I just smirk. I don't say anything else.
I'm just like, hey, if it wasn't for me, your clothes would be burned right now. He has grown.
God, I miss Kamala so much.
Where is she?
Last time I saw her, she was with my dad and my mom back on Ravnica. Yes.
You
Ravnica,
still need
yes.
to work on your pronunciation.
Well, I mean, it's a different language, and I just miss them. Sorry.
As I we're heading our way back, right?
Yeah.
As
I still
murmur-
have Sonder in my arms as I'm walking. So
Saunders
your
is
legs are
like
like
a
dangling.
yeah. I was like Saunders just like a big teddy bear at this point.
Oh,
Yep.
A big blue teddy bear.
I
Just
murmur back
shouldering
to someone on the ship that we're making our way back, so we'll be there shortly.
I'm just shouldering Kindred. Have you ever heard of this place, Ravnica?
It's possible, but I've read a lot of books. I can't remember everything.
Yeah, it's like a futuristic city. I say futuristic like I know what I'm talking about, but it's a lot of metal, a lot of my dad would call it science.
It's
And-
What
like that in
science?
some parts of it.
hmm
It's a beautiful place with buildings as far as the eye can see.
Waterfall.
So many people.
God.
You were
Oh.
talking about harnessing
like-
the elemental lightning energies
Yes,
to
yes,
power
and,
your buildings.
and a lot of other things too.
Are there lots of gnomes? I see gnomes when you speak of this place.
That makes sense. Yeah, gnomes and
uh,
dwarves, elves maybe.
no, but my
They would come up with that.
my dad's I don't really know what to call him. Her. Galil. Fuck. What was his name?
We
The
prefer the term they. No.
oh, I'm sorry. Him or her. Goddamn. What was the elephant?
Oh, like Shuja.
Oxygen.
Shuja, and I'm explaining Shuja like
A giant elephant person.
big elephant,
Oxygen.
crazy.
It was your like grandma figure.
Yes,
Aw.
yes. Oh my god! Like there's.
You have a Grandma Shuja too?
Raudica is amazing, and I hope one day I can take you. And I kind of like nudge at my necklace. Maybe one day we can go.
I would like that.
That would be
Seems
nice.
interesting.
Well,
Do you
guys,
still have any of that goat left, Galil?
not the head, but I think I saw some in the kitchen.
I'm sure
I can
there's
bring a
the head's
chest of
gone.
Ravnica to
there's
us.
some barbacoa going.
Ooh.
You can bring their
Iskra,
There
you
go.
can cook, can't you, Iskra?
That's what my parents do.
Oh
They
my
cook for
God.
their dock workers.
Oh, that's cool.
So when we get back to the ship, we should have a little celebration, or I don't know, just
I was about to say, well, some of us have already ate.
we haven't yet. we were going to, and I look at Kindred.
I had a
I
sandwich.
laugh.
We were going to have mushrooms.
Edita cooked much better than I do, but I can whip something up. I'm sure you'll love it. If we have pickled cabbages and rice.
I mean,
That
I
sounds
can go
really
hunting
good.
again, but this time not for the goats.
Well, it's, at this point, I mean, there's no way you would have eaten an entire goat, but
Yeah.
so you still have plenty of goat left. Rice, you probably definitely could manage to cook up, as well as probably something similar to some
I'm
sort
like,
of pickled
Galil wouldn't
salad,
be able to,
that
but Adam would.
sauerkraut style. Yeah. Okay. So, over the course of the next hours, it's now probably like 11 or so at night. You guys manage to sit around the kitchen once again, or in the galley once again, and kind of snack on this little special Ravnican treat. Go ahead and roll. I'll do a sleight of hand, I guess. I don't think there's a cooking skill.
Performance.
Okay.
It should be. Well, the
Performance.
Egyptians
It could be
said
performance.
Yeah, sure, why
food
not?
is
That's
It's like you're on
fine.
a
medicine.
cooking show.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a cooking feat now.
Well, now, but that's different. That just allows you to put modifiers and
And I
bonuses.
want to
things.
demonstrate how to do it to everyone at the
Okay,
same time.
so
and
yeah,
ask
performance
that,
then
you
it
know,
is.
Cooking with Iskra.
Well,
Maybe
you
like a
know.
hibachi grill. Throw that shrimp in my mouth.
So you
well,
want to use the cabbage as a wrapping after you've chopped everything up.
once we get back to the ship, I want to check on Carp and Aelin and just tell him like we're gonna be cooking. Iskra's cooking, so welcome to come out and join us if you'd like.
Sure. Carp's or Ephrail's still up now, and you
He
can
has
see he is
25.
25. Oh,
Nice.
perfect. He is currently kind of sitting at the edge of Salvador's bed with his hand on his chest, and you can see some more like light coming between the surface of his hand and over Salvador as he's looks over at you and just nods silently as he goes back to paying attention to what he's doing. Going to Aylin's room, you see that he is there sitting at the edges of his bed and writing into a journal.
What you doing?
Oh, just writing some stuff just in case, you know.
Okay. So you still hate us?
No, I don't hate any of you. I couldn't do that. You pretty much saved me from certain death at in the middle of a desert.
But can I come in?
Of course. He gestures over to the bed and kind of like grabs his things and puts it off to the side.
So I do want you to know that if something like this happens again, you can always come to any of us. If you feel this strongly about something, I want you to voice your concerns, not just feel like you have to sneak around us.
I know. I'm still, I guess, even though after all this time, still kind of getting used to things, being away from where I'm from and people that I really know. And I know I haven't exactly been the most social, probably, as I could have been, but I'm still trying to figure some stuff out myself.
And that's
And-
fine. Just next time, leave the spare key.
Well, I did. To be fair, I didn't know if you'd be going on without me, so I thought, just in case, I'd double up a wee bit and hope that I could make it back to the ship in case you went out too far.
You know we wouldn't have just abandoned you.
Well, no, I know, but just in case you didn't notice that I was gone.
We noticed.
Well, I guess I'm glad for it. I probably wouldn't have been able to do much against that winged beastie that Galil Niskra took care of. At least not on my own.
But you were the spark that ignited it.
I suppose. It was.
I mean,
It was
sometimes
more.
a simple
he just
spark
kind
is
of.
all it takes.
He points up to his head. It was more the feelings and voices.
You could have chose to ignore those voices.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I recognized at least the one of them for sure, and I figured it would be very important that I listen to what he has to say.
Well, I just want you to know that for next time. But oh God. With that, I'll just kind of tell him like, Galil got a goat, and Iskra's preparing dinner for everybody. If you would like to join us.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. He puts his stuff off to the side.
Like, does it look like he's coming with me like right now?
Yeah. He just
Okay,
puts
then
his stuff.
I'll wait for him, and we'll walk back to the galley together.
I'm going to the deck.
Going to the top deck. Okay. As I said, after the meal or before or during?
Well, she's still preparing it, so I'm going to go to the deck at the moment.
Okay.
Hey, Galil, if you're going up there, why don't we put a little campfire up there for them since we ruined their last one?
Yeah, I'll set something up for them. So that way they can actually sleep outside like they want to.
I kind of like nod. I'm just like, yeah, let's do that.
These will be ready soon.
Okay.
You guys cook. I'll go out there and set it up.
Okay. So you start preparing and showing the Ravnikan specialty with the ingredients that you have. And
A few more spices, please.
nice.
I would be assisting Iskra with whatever she needs.
Sure. All right. Khalil, what are you doing? Just going up and setting stuff up?
Well, I'm going to find a space to where it's being hidden, but you can still see the stars.
Okay.
I'm going to chop up some wood. Well, cut some wood off trees with the rapier.
Yeah.
Rapiers don't cut; they stab.
I was like, but we'll just say, yes, we'll get you have some axes or something, so we'll go with that. I was like, you might be at it for a while if you try with a rapier. Just say.
Find that with the long sword that I also have in the bag of holding.
Okay.
That works.
Yes.
Sure. You get a nice little branch fire.
While I'm making it, I'm going to focus out to Thadriel.
Okay. Make a wisdom check for me.
I rolled a 16, so hold on.
Okay.
Wisdom check?
Yeah.
+2.
Okay.
So 18.
As you are preparing the flints and setting up the little the sticks and branches that you had gotten together to start the smaller campfire, finding a section that, while still open above, has more of a blocked off view. I mean, it's still within the courtyard of the fortress, so you're not, at danger from being seen outside the fortress walls itself. But you're able to set up a small little campfire, and as you are doing so, you do hear you do feel kind of like a presence there with you. You kind of look around over your shoulder. You don't really see anybody, but you feel like someone is there.
You can come out.
You hear the voice within your mind. here. Do you need to see me?
Are we in danger? As I'm still making this
Yeah.
camp.
I felt that goes without saying. Aren't you always in danger?
Saving one of the 12. We fought something.
Yes. I am aware.
I'm kind of terrified.
That is understandable. You are starting to face the more of the deeper evils that are involved and at work within this fight.
Are they working with the Thayans at least, or is that undetermined still?
They are working with the Thayans. They have reached out to many a darker source, and they have found answers in many of those sources.
Well, I need to promise to stay alive, so I still don't promise myself to find Bordevar.
Then, for the moment, while that is a noble goal, he is safe. You hear the, or I should say, at the corner of your field of vision, you see the booted feet standing by you. And looking up, you see Thadriel standing there at your side and kneels down.
Is he actually there?
While you're not. Nothing. Yeah, nothing would have sent that off.
Okay.
There are going to be more difficult battles ahead of you, Gilliam. Facing one creature from the hells like that is good practice, I suppose. But as long as you are doing what needs to be done, you shouldn't have any worry to feel. You are with rather strong allies. And she still watches over you.
Okay, that's good to know. That helps me calm myself.
Finding calm in these days is a rare thing. But lean on those that you are with, and you should find a relative form of peace. They will not let you fall without a fight.
Yes, I'll do that.
Thadriel stands up from where he had crouched next to you, and you see him look back over to the ship. The edges of his body kind of have this like golden shimmery like outline to him as he looks over. That one is still growing. He's surprisingly powerful. But still, watch him. He still needs guidance. He's still rather young.
He thinks he's a know-it-all.
As I recall, so did you at one time.
Yeah, but then I had Mortimer who drove me down.
And just as Borovar guided you, he has you as well to guide him. Just make sure he stays put together. Beings with that much power, even if they mean well, can quickly spiral out of control. And with the temptations that abound in this world, we must make sure that he doesn't fall to the same fate as others have.
Don't do that.
You turn down to look at the little fires as the campfire starts coming to life, flickering into a small little flame. Or a large one.
I'm going to use prestidigitation to help ignite it more.
Ignite it more. So then that burns nice and bright. You look up over to where Borovar had once stood, and you see these little motes of like shimmery dust that kind of just fall to the ground and disappear.
Okay. I'm going to walk back up now.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Sonder to help me start carrying everything once we're done outside.
Absolutely. I'll also ask if Grandma Illy wants to try some as well,
Oh,
or the two
definitely.
birds.
Oh yeah, her and the two birds.
And the turtle little birds.
Her and the two birds join you and go down to the small little campfire that you guys have set up, and all of you kind of sit around for a moment and enjoy a nice little meal.
Everyone, food fit for a popper. Happy poppers.
Everyone gathered together and has their own little plate of the food there to enjoy. After some time, Afriel does make an appearance and kind of stands in one of the archways of this little, what had once been also one of the little cottages that you guys have found, but has the open area and no windows. Kind of just stands there in the doorway watching everybody eat. As everybody enjoys a couple of an hour or so of nice, calming conversation around the fire before the crew, as it were, heads back into the airship, leaving those who wish to remain outside.
So we'll talk to Iskra. This is really good, thank you. I am no longer mad at you, but I was mad because I thought I was your friend, but then you left and that made me sad and I was scared. But I am no longer mad at you. This food is good, thank you.
No
I'm
way.
really sorry.
Best way to a man's heart is through his belly.
Yep.
Alan and I were
writing that in his
afraid you were
journal.
going to get hurt. Now, seeing those creatures that you summoned, I know that we were wrong. We should have brought you along.
I can protect you if you let me. So do not do that again, please.
You can count on me to stick with the team this time.
He nods. He just kind of nods, but his eyes well up just a little bit, and he keeps eating.
Oh no!
I feel
Alright.
that. That's mood.
Mood.
Although
Definitely.
Iskra saying that to Soul thinks a bit about back home and how, she's doing this ultimately away from all of them, so she hasn't stuck with the team before, and then again in other ways.
All right. So, as you guys settle in for the evening, are you guys sleeping outside or?
Let's stay outside.
I'm
And
gonna sleep outside.
I'm gonna sleep outside.
All right.
Me too.
I have some things I want to do, so I'm gonna head back inside.
All right.
Okay. Well, if you need this, we'll be out here.
So then,
Good night, Kindred.
Good night.
you guys.
did Aelin get a plate?
Huh?
Yeah, he
Oh
came
yeah,
out.
everyone came outside.
Okay, cool.
and ate,
Everyone's
yeah.
okay.
Um,
I'm gonna ask Aelin if he wants to stay outside with us, watch the stars.
Sure. I don't. That's fine by me. I don't exactly sleep outside very often, so something different, I guess. So he rolls up and gets his goes back under the ship, grabs some blankets and stuff, brings his own little spot to camp out with you guys. So for the evening, everyone takes a nice little long rest. Kindred, what are you wanting to do?
So
I'll take
heading-
first. Oh,
heading back into the ship, I'm gonna look and message Carp and just discreetly tell him, like, if you have a moment, meet me in my room. And I'll head back to my room. And once I get there, and the whole time I've been casting non-detection to build my ward back up to full strength.
Okay.
And once I get in my room, kind of
Wait for a moment.
look around and kind of take a deep breath, and I'll call out to Vrek once more.
Okay. Looking around.
And
There is no reply, no response.
so kind of figuring that, but wanting to be hopeful, I go sit down back at my desk and I take the orb, and he never gave me anything, so it's going to be just a straight roll to scry on him.
Okay.
Or actually, scrying. Would he be considered someone I know well at this point?
Yeah, you know him pretty well. I would say you guys have spent over, the last 7 months or so together.
Okay, so then it's a -5 for his roll.
-5?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's change this. All right. So you start to do the scry, and you focus on the vision. You can close your eyes. You can feel your mental link connecting with the orb, and you reach out. You can feel like yourself just expanding to cover an area, and you sense darkness.
Like an emptiness, or like
Yeah.
this is what he's seeing.
No, like you sense darkness, emptiness, nothing.
Just holding out, trying to keep concentration on it, I guess, unless Carp comes and like
And
I totally zone
you
into
keep-
it.
Yeah,
Holding
you keep,
out, just hoping I feel something for him.
You feel like your senses expanding. You feel when you've scried before, you have had that sensation of flying and passing over vast distances quickly, and you can feel like you are not moving. You feel the stillness of the air within you. And finally, you hear the knock on the door.
that snaps me out. Just yeah.
Carb opens the door, or Afriel opens the door. You called me?
Yeah. I figured. Sorry. I figured while we have the chance, we might see if we can get a step up on the enemy, and I'll pull out the cloth that I wiped with Okraval's blood, and I'll like kind of motion at the orb and just be like, "But I figured you might want to be around to when I do this."
Sure. He reaches out over and puts a hand on your shoulder, and you feel the this calming sensation. It's like
Damn it, Sonder.
relaxes your you feel the tension that had been built up into the back of your neck, and you can just feel like it's relaxing out of you.
So then with that, I know I had been building it up, but just as precaution, I'm gonna like recast non-detection just because it makes me feel better.
Right.
And I look at Carbon and say, "You ready?"
Of course.
And then I'll begin the casting.
You cast the spell, scry spell, once again, focusing this time on the connection with the ichor that was on the rag that you had used.
So it's -10 on his roll.
Okay. And you focus on the move. Your vision goes out again into darkness, and you get nothing in response.
Is it like the same emptiness with Vrek, or more of like I was blocked?
Just emptiness. Nothing.
I'll keep on concentrating for a few minutes and just holding out, see if anything changes.
On the outside, you can feel the concentration, the intensity of your concentration as the sweat starts to kind of fall down the sides of your forehead. One of it kind of goes down along the ridges of your eye, and you kind of feel it like try and distract you from your concentration. You focus and you push harder, trying to find something, some sort of connection, and you feel nothing.
Finally come out of it and just look at Carb and just be like, either he knew or he's somewhere I can't reach.
I don't know exactly what that thing was that Galil found, but if what they described happened to it, it may have returned to whatever plane that it had been summoned from.
That's what I was afraid of.
In which case, it will be back, perhaps at some point. But for now, he kind of shudders. At least you have one less thing to worry about for the moment. He turns to walk towards the door and then stops. At least one less thing to worry about. And then walks out the door.
And then I'll just kind of sit there in silence, just zoning out.
Okay. Anything else that you're wanting to do this evening?
No. I'll probably do that for a good while, and then I'll just go to bed.
Okay. And so everybody else, anything else they wanted to accomplish before the end of the night?
Just snuggle by the campfire.
Saunders muted, by the way.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that means no. That means no. Well, moving on.
Yeah. Just make sure that we have a watch, shifts to make sure that someone's looking outside.
Yeah. Man, I can do the first watch, but Iskra, thank you for this. It literally tastes like how my mom used to make it.
I'm glad that you think it's so good. And I'm glad that we were all brought together, and we should all thank the Hell Goat, honestly.
To the hell goat.
To the hell goat.
To the Hell Goat.
To the scary monster.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh
And
my
with that,
god.
I use presentation to use the
Oh my god, shut
make
up.
the eyeballs appear again. But then I use my radiant consumption just to make my eyes glow.
I laugh.
I'm gonna shake my head. Khalil, one of these days.
Alright.
I will
this doesn't
summon
work
a
out.
lot of little snakes instead of one big snake.
Lord.
And I'm gonna keep one as a pet.
God, all right. Well, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna start my watch and just watch them act stupid as I kind of like peer out to make sure everything's gonna be fine.
At least if this doesn't work out for us, we know that we can start a dinner theater.
There you go.
Probably part of your brothel that you have.
Oh
in store.
God.
Yes.
What are the snakes for?
Oh my.
They're controllable too. Oh, my.
Okay. On that
Dinner
note,
theater
so
joke in-
who
in
all?
character.
So Alec, when you're taking first watch,
I'll take second.
Saunders take second, Galil take third.
If
We
need
all
a
look
fourth
up to
watch,
the-
I'll take it.
All right. So Alec, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Let's use this dice. It's nice to me.
It's
17 plus 1, 18.
18. All right. Sonder.
Yeah, I'm getting it ready.
Fee, fi, fo, fum.
Oh shit! Don't play. Don't play.
Oh,
Don't
nice.
play.
I got a 19 plus 8, 27.
Okay.
Fuck.
Galil.
Okay, perception, right?
Yep.
Hmm.
I got a
Ooh, that's-
15.
15.
The music changed.
Through the course of the night, you spend a really quiet evening there at the edges of the woods in the fort with no real disturbances. Occasionally you'll hear like a flying creature, some large bird or something fly out over the woods. Occasional sound of night birds as well. But other than that, yeah. Giant F-747 size bird just comes plummeting out of the sky. No.
Firebolt.
Yeah, that'll do some.
Yeah, right.
At one point, Galil, you swear that you saw shadows at the edges of the fort, tall shadows. But the more you stared, the more they just seem to have been real. Shortly before dawn, you can see that the sky is starting to lighten the horizon, and that was just a what's it called, a red herring for the music. I was just trying to get you guys on your toes. But as dawn is arriving, you hear footsteps approaching. Did you stay outside, Galil, or you said right? Okay. As you were there, we will go with. This is fine. You hear the footsteps approaching you from on your campsite, and Afriel comes around the corner from the coming in from the airship. Are you busy?
I'm just keeping watch. Why?
There's been a bit of some stuff that I saw during the night. You come with me real quick?
Sure.
He leads you back to the ship. I have to go. And I think I can take Salvador with me. He's coming around. And for what we have to do next, I feel like I might need his assistance. You remember how we had sent some people out to do some scouting and as far as the cult of the dragon and how they are tied to Thay?
Yeah.
Word has returned that they have found some information, but in the process, it seems that they have upset some balances to the south. But I'm running out of time. I need to get back as quickly as possible before the sun rises. Will you help me bring Salvador to the surface, please?
Okay.
Okay. So, are you going down to the
Do you see us ready to admit audiences yet? No?
voices? Alright. So, going down to the lower decks, you see Salvador is awake now. And between you and Afriel, you both help carry him, and he's mostly able to stand, but he's still a little shaky. You bring him up to the top deck, and you can see that you're probably moments away from the sun rising. Afriel takes the full weight of Salvador over his shoulder and starts walking towards the front of the ship. He turns back around, tell the others to be safe. You guys are fast approaching Silver Moon, and there will be many dangers there. I can't promise that I'll be able to come back and help or save you if needed, but I will try and give you as much of a boon as possible. Don't.
Right.
Give Kindred a hug for me.
Just do me a favor, or promise me one thing.
Of course.
Stay safe.
You as well, my friend. You as well. He starts walking towards the edges of the ship, and just as he starts reaching that front portion of the ship, you see the sun break over the horizon, and for a moment you kind of wince and kind of look away as you had been looking directly into the sunlight, and in that one moment of looking away and you're refocusing and shielding your eyes, you see that Afriel is gone, as well as Salvador. And the day starts for another leg of your journey. And that is how we'll end for tonight. So, good job, everybody.
Yay, we got a long rest.
You did.
Thank
Everybody got a long rest.
I had 0 spells left.
Don't fight.
Nothing. Please, nothing.
I used up all my
1/5 level
first
back
level.
and all 1st level spells.
Nice.
I started my 2nd and 3rd.
Nice.
I only have 2 as a warlock, so
All right, guys. We will see you next week.
Wait, so did we get milkshake bobas or not?
We are bad.